subscribe. Tariq Radio. Watch and subscribe.
All right, we in here. We're in here. Welcome to the Tap In. Round of applause for you, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for you. Ready to do that tap in. Let's get it crack in. Glad to have y'all in here, family. We're here. Everybody give me a retweet. Y'all retweet the broadcast. Let everybody know that we are indeed live. Real quick, I'm going to throw some names out there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to throw the names out there for the family. Let me give you some names. Let me give some names. We got, hold on one second. Let me see. We got, where we at? 'Cause people are texting me. We got Miss Skyline, the prototype, Sir Mike, Highland. We got Ty Powell. We got Lil Old Me, Ania Saru, FBA Law, Leia Miles. Well, Layla Miles, I'm sorry, dear. Jess, I Texan, Miss Willa down there, and the Tethernator in the building. Respect to you guys. We're going to get right into the game. Let's get right into it. And again, y'all give me a retweet. Let everybody know that we are indeed live right now. Give me those retweets. Family, you know, the first thing, well, before I get into that, don't forget, we're having an event at the Hidden History Museum, October 4th, Saturday, October 4th. It's called the Funny Fall Fest. We got a lot of great comics. It's going to be me and my brother Dwan B hosting. We got Sidney Castillo. He's going to be there, very funny comedian. We got Scruncho, very funny comic, and many, many others. We got complimentary food. It's going to be a vibe, comedy show mixer, music, vibes. You do not want to miss it. Come hang out with me and let's kick it and politic and chop it up at the Hidden History Museum. It is a vibe. Go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com to get your tickets. hiddenhistorymuseum.com, ladies and gentlemen. Family, you know what I want to talk about, speaking of LA? Snoop Dogg, our brother Snoop Dogg. See, Snoop Dogg is under attack right now, unjustly. They're attacking our brother Snoop Dogg, and it's wrong. This is very, very wrong. Snoop Dogg did an interview, family. He was talking about he took his grandson. He took his grandson to the movies, took his grandson to a movie, and it was a child movie. I forgot what movie he said it was, but it was a children's movie. And within the film, there was a scene. It was a Disney Pixar movie. I think it was Lightyear, I think. Yeah, I think it was the Lightyear movie. I don't know when he took him. It might have been a few years ago. I don't know. But he mentioned taking his grandson to a movie, and it was the Lightyear movie. And in the movie, there was a same-sex couple who was kissing, and they had a baby, and you know, they got Disney and all of these other people to push agendas. They push these agendas and they crowbar these things in movies in a very unnatural way. They crowbar them things in, and it's so clearly crowbarred. It doesn't flow with the storyline. You can tell it's just like somebody came in and say, hey, we got to put this in there. There's no authentic flow of it, and it throws you off, and even kids can feel that. Kids can feel it. It just something, what the hell? So you throw that in the middle of a kid's movie, so kids start asking questions, you immediately take the child out of the movie. So Snoop was talking about, he was watching this movie with his grandson, and there was a brief scene of this same-sex couple was raising a child with her wife and all this stuff, and there was a little kiss. So the son was like, "Hey, how they have a baby? What's that? How do how do they have a baby?" So Snoop was like, "Damn, I don't really want to talk about this right now." You know, he was like, "Damn." My grandson was like, "Papa Snoop, She had a baby with a woman? She's a woman." And Snoop was like, "Damn, I just came to watch a damn movie. I didn't want to do all this." So he said, "What you see, they're putting this stuff everywhere and they kind of mess me up. So I'm kind of scared to go to the movies now. You're throwing me in the middle of this stuff and I don't have an answer. Yeah, these are kids and we have to show that to them at this age. They're going to ask questions and I don't really have an answer." So then they started all the white liberals and their bootlick flunkies. Oh, Snoop is homophobic now. Oh, they running around yelling how he's homophobic. Or they came all out of the woodworks. Oh, bigotry is so gross. Oh, they just all came out of the woodworks. Oh, we got to cancel Snoop. There was some Australian um, senator, somebody over there in Australia, was talking about Snoop is a slur merchant and they need to replace Snoop for some kind of event and replace him with a local artist. So they're talking about trying to cancel Snoop. They're just really going overboard. Some sex educator, Dr. What's her name? Shania Thomas told Newsweek, such celebrity remarks amplify stigma and harm LGBT youth, especially given Snoop's past involvement with queer media. So they're really going overboard. And who's this person? Andrea Ola. I can't pronounce the last name, but it looks like some foreigner. So the foreigners are jumping in with the white supremacists, the dog pile. You see. So they're really trying to dog pile on Snoop. And let me tell you something. Snoop didn't say anything wrong. Listen, let me tell you something. Because see, they always try this buck breaking stuff with us if we don't go along with a crowbarred agenda. We get labels on us, and they really do that to Black people a lot. Understand this: parental rights have to be respected. Your parental rights shouldn't be overridden by ideology. Look, Snoop is a grandfather. You guys are fathers and mothers of children. You have a right to decide when and how to introduce little complex topics to your damn children, including sexuality. Yeah. It's okay I don't really want to talk about anything sexual with no child when they're too young. That's okay. You wanting to delay that conversation don't mean hatred. Boy, these people just make a far reach. Snoop said, I just don't want to talk about it. Then they flip that into hatred. No, it means as a parent, he's protecting his child's emotional development and innocence. It's okay. Let the children be innocent. It's okay to let these kids be innocent. That's a universal parental instinct. That's not a political statement. Damn. Let me tell you something. I have small children. Even when there are shows and there's heterosexual people, a man and a woman kissing and doing a little too much, hey, y'all need to be watching that because they start looking, ooh. You understand? When you were a kid, certain things you shouldn't be really watching, period, until you get to a certain age. And got nothing to do with sexual orientation, just anything with sexual overtones or undertones. You kind of want to wean the children away from that if they're just not ready. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff, man, these sexual innuendos, that don't belong in cartoons for small children anyway. Listen, back in the day, cartoons they were, even when there was a man and a woman there, the tone was asexual. It wasn't the man and the woman was all hugged up and booed up. In fact, a lot of cartoons, they didn't show any type of sexual intimacy between the couples, period. You didn't? They just didn't show that because kids were not ready for that. You're not supposed, that's why are you pushing that to children at all? You see? So when critics try to frame that as anti-gay, but a lot of parents don't want any kind of romantic, sexualized content in cartoons designed for children under 10, regardless of the orientation. See, the concern is not who's kissing. The concern is like, why are they kissing and doing all this stuff at all in a children's cartoon? You know what I'm saying? Kids' entertainment should be about play, imagination, simple moral lessons, not romance or relationships like that. Yeah? Come on now. Yeah, that shit they're doing with Snoop is wrong. And the thing is, listen, they talk about representation. Well, your look, representation is not the same as indoctrination. See, there's a difference between representing the diversity of the world accurately and then forcing adult conversations into a child's playtime. There's a big difference. And cartoons that feature these same sex crushes and gender identity shifts or these romantic undertones without real context, that'll confuse kids who are too young to really process those things. And raising concerns over that, it's about age appropriateness. It's not about hate. You understand? Let's be real about this stuff. Children are in a vulnerable cognitive development stage right now when they're very young. Children under 7, they're still forming their basic understanding about identity, emotional regulation, social dynamics. And when you start introducing sexual or romantic concepts, regardless of who is between, that can prematurely influence or confuse those developmenting frameworks, man. That's developmentally irresponsible to shortcut those conversations through entertainment. And I'm not, even if it's a heterosexual situation, if you get a kid who don't really understand certain things and you show them, look, you show a cartoon to a kid where men and women are just kissing through it. Just men and women. Forget about sexual same sex. Just men and women are kissing through it. And this is a cartoon you showing to a kid. This kid, okay, this kid goes to school and start, hey, I'm gonna just run up on the girls and kiss on the girls. Hey, they did it in the cartoon, so yeah, I can just run up and start kissing on girls. You know what I'm saying? That would be problematic. Just certain things, there's a time for that. You have to bring that to children or young adults when it's time, and you don't force it on them. And the thing is, we got to be real. Children's media, that's become a battlefield for social agendas. See, they're trying to get at kids young with an agenda. See, more and more these countries embed these adult themes, sexuality, identity politics, activism, and into shows aimed at toddlers and preschoolers. And it's a valid thing to question whether these shows are about entertaining the children or recruiting beliefs. You see? So yeah, our brother Snoop has every right to reject that without being labeled a damn bigot. And also, when you label parents and grandparents as homophobic, that's manipulative and that's very, very silencing. Calling Snoop homophobic for not wanting to have a sexual conversation in a movie theater. You don't want to, yeah. Do you really want to do that? Who wants to do that? You got to sit here and explain. Your kid now, they've crowbarred this agenda into a movie. So the kid, his mind is out of the movie now. Your mind is completely out the movie. You're like, damn, grandpa, what's this? What does that mean? What is this? What is that? And you got to sit here in the movie and explain that something that heavy in a kids movie? Nobody wants to do that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really wants to do that, regardless of the sexual orientation. Like if I'm watching a movie or something, my kid tries to ask certain questions about pregnancy and all that stuff. And I have to explain that, I gotta certain things I just gotta wait to explain to them. You see? But there's been a long history of parents resisting that sexualizing in media. That goes back way before the whole LGBT representation thing. Look, back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of parents were protesting about the um, just the heterosexual innuendos of sex and violent themes in cartoons in the 80s and 90s. You know? So the current wave of concern is part of that same pattern, but now there's a political weaponizing of the outrage, you see. And that's the thing. Representation doesn't justify ambushing families. See, it's one thing if a movie is rated PG-13 and it's marketed as LGBT inclusive. And then you go, okay, let me go check this out. If you market it that way, say, hey, this is an LGBT inclusive movie. We got Billy Porter playing the lead character. Okay, you see, they don't do that. You know why? Because a lot of folks ain't rocking with it like that. You understand? They ambush you because a lot of folks ain't rocking with it like that. So why are they insisting on crowbarring something that they know people aren't really rocking with? That's called indoctrination, family. Because see, if a movie is advertised as a family-friendly cartoon, and then they unexpectedly introduce some kind of sexualized or romantic theme, now the parents feel tricked. It's not intolerant. It's like, damn, okay, I ain't got a problem with this, but damn, I could have saw this by myself if I chose to. I wouldn't have brought my son or my grandson to it. I didn't really consent to having that conversation being initiated by a damn corporation. I didn't know they were going to crowbar this stuff in the film. Yeah, so Snoop's reaction was really universal and human. It wasn't political. Snoop didn't give a speech. He didn't criticize nobody's lifestyle. He didn't diss nobody. He didn't denigrate nobody. That brother just expressed in the moment, man, he wanted to watch a cartoon with his grandson. He didn't want to have a sexual talk in a damn dark theater. So yeah, that's the response of a damn grandfather. It's not a you don't want to have a civil rights movement in the movie theater. You're like, damn, I just want to sit here and eat some popcorn with the baby and watch a movie. Yeah, this whole thing where they have to ambush you, that shows a nefarious intention. Just like with a lot of shows. You watch shows, and I used to talk about this all the time, watching the show Power. Boy, Power, and I love the show Power, but boy, they would I started getting turned off. And my wife has been wanting me to watch one of the last seasons or whatever, but it just kept turning me off because I kept getting ambushed, man. I don't want to get ambushed with stuff with them Drew scenes because it was so unnatural and it was just crowbarred in it. Drew, y'all know the character Drew. He was an LGBT drug dealer, and they the producers of that show they realize, okay, when Drew comes on the scene, a lot of people are going to tune out because he's probably going to do something sexual that we don't want to see, and that's fine. That's I don't. So what they would do, they would just immediately they'll show a good scene. They'll show a scene of some drug dealers, show a real gangster scene, and then the very next scene, you see Drew bent over. They'll just ambush you with it, no context. They just start. Bam! They'll cut to the scene, and it's him somewhere in the bed with a dude getting his Bucci cat toe up. That was by design. That's an ambush. That's them ambushing the shit out of the audience, and I didn't like that because it took you out of the film. It was out of context. It was unnecessary. Didn't make no sense. It had no bearing on the storyline whatsoever. It's just, okay, somebody came in the room and said, hey, look at this script. We need an agenda in this script. So put this on page 8. You can clearly see they just threw it in there just because of the corporate heads told them to. That's not good art. When I watch a show or watch a film, I'm trying to watch art. I'm trying to appreciate the creativity and the artistic value. I don't want to really go and watch a propaganda corporate agenda. I don't want to watch no corporate agenda, dude. I don't. Just give me a good storyline. Yeah, give me a good storyline. And if they introduce some characters who just happen to be LGBT or whatever, that's fine. That's fine. And if it ties into the storyline in an interesting, um, compelling way, that's fine. But yeah, don't just ambush people with stuff. And another thing, family, these damn white liberals, the damn Democrats, they're the main ones attacking our brother Snoop. They're the main ones attacking him. They're very vocal to attack Snoop. And this is what I don't like about these goddamn liberals. And I'm not a conservative, by the way. I'm nonpartisan. I don't give a damn about none of them. But yeah, when they try to tell us that we need to rock with the Democrats, this is one of the reasons why the Democrats ain't shit too. None of these folks ain't shit. See, they sit up here and they come out the woodworks to attack our brothers. When black people need those same liberal voices, boy, they're very quiet. Now, black people are being harassed by the National Guard, and these folks ain't saying nothing about it. The National Guard are unconstitutionally harassing black people, and they're talking about sending the National Guard to harass more black people. These folks ain't talking about no anti-black crime bill, nothing. When we talk about things that we need as black people and the targeting that we get, they are radio damn silent. See, their selective outrage that reveals their true priorities. See, they're loud and united. Boy, them liberals, they're loud and united when a black celebrity don't co-sign content in cartoons that are sexualized. But these people are dead silent when black folks are being harassed, brutalized, arrested, surveilled. Yeah, I ain't with that. See, they like to police black thought more than police injustice. Where's all this firestorm for the National Guard and all and nothing? Nothing. They're quiet as hell. But a rapper says, "Hey man, I don't really want to explain sexual content to my grandkid." Oh, hey, oh, that's intolerant. We can't have that. Oh God, no. Oh, so now you woke up. Oh, so you are here. See, the liberals, man, they only support black voices that obey. You know, Snoop is a legend, and Snoop he supported a lot of those liberal causes. But the minute he deviates 1 inch from their sexualized narrative, he's branded problematic. Yeah. So that shows to these white liberals and their tether flunkies that black people, we're only welcome if we're into this ideological servitude. You see? Come on now. They try to use guilt, not justice. They use guilt as a weapon. See, they won't do shit to pass a crime bill to stop stuff from harming black people. They won't really stump for reparations like that. They've been lollygagging with that, but they'll guilt and shame black people who say, "Hey, I don't want to talk about sexual stuff with my grandkid." That's not liberation. That's manipulation. You know, and these people try to weaponize social justice to silence us. And they treat black people like mascots, man, that not equal. See, when black suffering can be used to boost liberal branding, you know, the liberals show up when we're out here talking about justice for black people, then they show up and say, yes, and for Asians, and for black and brown, and for LGBT, yes, all people. Yeah. And then we're left holding the damn bag. But when we start expressing these independent views, Black folks are punished and humiliated. Yeah, it's clear. These liberals, they want Black obedience. They want obedient Black folks. That's why the Democrats are losing their Black base, as they should. Many Black people are realizing the Democrats, they don't offer protection. All they do is police us and try to buck break us. What they're doing to Snoop is a form of damn buck breaking. If we don't go along with their sexual agendas, we're going to get punished. They're going to drain resources from us. Boy, they're going to attack us. That's buck breaking 101. And I ain't cool with it. And that's why their Black support is declining. Yeah, when I want to hear your voices when we need policy, when Black folks need some damn policy, y'all start lollygagging. Y'all start talking in circles. You're confused. You don't have no focus. You don't know what's what. But reparations, what does that look like? I don't know. God, reparations? He's gonna get it. I don't know. You're confused. But a Black person says, "Hey, I don't want my kid to have no, I don't want to have a sexual conversation with my kid in the movie theater." Oh God, we got to get you out of here, buddy. We need a policy for the LGBT youth because we're going to call it the Snoop Dogg Dingaling law. We're gonna, yes, you're trying to silence Dingaling, Snoop. Now y'all real focused now. Yeah, out of here. Snoop is Snoop didn't say a damn thing wrong. He didn't want his kid having that he didn't want to have that conversation with his kid in the theater, and that's all right. That is all right. Damn. Man, let me get some folks in here. Great Black Shark in the building. Great Black Shark in the building. Great Black Shark, hop on in, sir.
Salute to you, black man. Can you hear me okay,
yes,
brother?
I can, man. How are you, brother?
I'm grand, brother. I hope your family is well over there, man. I'll be very brief. And I want all of the Black celebrities listening, because we know many of them will tune in to these spaces to hear what you have to say. And I hope they pay attention to what I'm about to tell them. Do not put political parties or corporations ahead of your people, because like Brother Tariq said, all it takes is for you to do one thing wrong and then they'll turn on you. And I also want to address this sexual confusion agenda and indoctrination that all of them are trying to push now on these kids. I want to build on something that you said that's very important, brother. You gave the example of what happens even if it's heterosexual scenes and young children are like sponges, they emulate what they see and what they hear. So the inverse of that would be they keep trying to push this type of sexual confusion on these children through things that are supposed to be innocent, so that if they're going to prey on children, they can tell them, hey, this is normal. It's okay for you to do X, Y, and Z with someone of the same sex. Because think about it, brother. You probably remember this a couple of years ago. I think it was both the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir and the Boston Gay Men's Choir, when they put out that video talking about we're coming for your children. That's the Michael Swift manifesto that we see playing out, and that's on the congressional record. I put that in the Purple Pill Factor business for anybody want to check it out. But they're not going to be able to bully heterosexual people, because like you said, whether it's heterosexual scenes or, homosexual scenes, parents have the right to decide how and when they address that with their children. And you do not have the right to force whatever your ideology is on people. It's time for people to stand up and push back against that if they love children. Well, that's it. I'll end.
Much respect, man. Thank you so much.
When there is stank on the streets, there's only one man who will bring the heat.
Hey, Rootwork Jones, why you gotta split, sugar?
These musty jive turkeys think it's a game out here. I gotta get out here and show them I mean business. Can you dig it?
None of these smelly suckers can relax, because Rootwork Jones is back. Is the return of Dolomust, the Sultan of Stank. His mission? To turn Harlem into a musty mecca.
I'm going to plant a must bomb in Harlem. When it detonates, everyone in Harlem will be musty.
Rootwork Jones has to shake up the block. He has a limited time before the bomb drops.
Word on the street is Dolomus's men planted a bomb in a Cadillac in Harlem.
Thanks, Mama.
Can Rootwork Jones find the bomb before it explodes?
Where is the Cadillac with the must bomb, sucker?
Or will the city go into musty mode?
It's a couple blocks over that way.
Rootwork Jones is behind the wheel, socking stanky suckers all in their grills. Come see Rootwork Jones in Musty Inferno. Go to rootworkstyle.com for more info. Sucker.